Things are never the same. Our political party, the DP that we knew, is no longer the way it is. It has been sold to the Patriotic Front, who the Zambians refused. Vehemently. So we are here to tell the nation that as Democratic Party, we've refused to be soiled. So this is Mr. Evans Chilambwe. He's also one of the owners of the party. This is Madam.
Don't even listen to whatever he's saying. These are lies.
Yeah. No, it's the fight you want. Cause it. You don't know. Cause it. Yeah. So there is a speech.
I want to first of all apologize on behalf of our colleagues on the behavior that has been displayed, because we believe that Zambia is a democratic country and every person has got a right to expression.
Yes.
Every person has got a right to association, and this is the Democratic Party Secretariat. I am surprised that in just 2 seconds our colleagues are looking at us as enemies when we are here to stand for the people of Zambia. Like my colleague earlier alluded to, I want to first of all start by saying that every organization has got owners.
To Lusaka Woodlands Police Station to open a docket after they were allegedly harassed at their party secretariat. However, in a dramatic turn of events, the Kalaba faction has since placed dissidents Mrs. Kabemba and Mr. Nkonge on suspension from DP structures. This was after an emergency meeting chaired by Mr. Kalaba.
Report harassment that happened when we went to do our press briefing, because what happened in the morning, Mr. Kalaba was served with a demand letter, and afterwards we were supposed to go and have a press conference at our secretariat, and then he had these boys who were roughing us, prevented us to access our own secretariat, and so we came here to lodge a complaint on the abuse that we suffered, the insults that we suffered, and we had our vehicle that we went with deflated, and things were ransacked from the car. So we came to open a docket and report. That's why we are found here.
We would like to dismiss these assertions with the content they so deserve. Yes. We also sympathize with Ms. Kabemba and Mr. Nkonge's sudden lack of focus and direction. We are aware of what is going on and what has made them to take such a the party. We would like to dismiss these assertions with the content they so deserve. Yes. We also sympathize with Ms. Kabemba and Mr. Nkonge's sudden lack of focus and direction. We are aware of what is going on and what has made them to take such a destructive path for now. We shall treat this matter as strictly family, or as a strict family affair, unless the jury decide otherwise. We want to deal with this matter with utmost civility, sincerity, and maturity, because as DP, that is who we are, and I'm sure everybody else knows that's who we are. And this is the kind of politics we've been preaching about and would like to encourage in this nation. For the record, beloved Zambians, Mr. Kalaba is the president of the Democratic Party, and all members and well-wishers are advised not to be alarmed. Mr. Kalaba is firmly in charge of the party, and even as the party leadership is behind him as their leader who was elected during the National Convention that was held in 2020 November. As such, the trustees and members of the DNC, and indeed the entire leadership, would like to affirm its unwavering support to Mr. Kalaba and through his leadership we are confident that he will help provide checks and balances to the government. Lastly, we would like to inform the party membership and general public that the leadership, through an emergency meeting that was convened to address the dual's issue of insubordination, has today, 19th October 2021, resolved to place Ms. Kavemba and Mr. Nkonye on suspension pending a disciplinary hearing. The leadership affirms its commitment to uphold the party constitution, which guides.
Now, Zambian traders at Kasumbalesa border market have cried out to government to evict Congolese nationals from the market. They lament that the Congolese nationals have caused a disruption of their businesses. Kasumbalesa border market is a prominent place for traders dealing in variety of business activities. The traders also accuse their counterparts of terrorizing them. Here's a report.
Kasumbalesa, a border between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Located near the town of Chilabombwe in Zambia, it is the main gateway to the mineral-rich Katanga province of the DRC and a major crossing point for both human traffic and cargo to both countries. Kasumbalesa border market is a prominent place for traders dealing in a variety of business activities and famously known as a hub for trade for small and medium enterprises, SMEs. Housing over 800 traders, the border post market is flooded with traders from both sides, and despite the Chilabombwe Municipal Council building a modernized market structure in 2018, housing 400 stands, traders seem to increase every day. Zambian traders at the market on the Zambian side have cried out to government to evict the Congolese nationals from the market.
utubungwe twachira muna mukasumbalesa tatwaliko twalifiro kushtisha mkuwai mwabuteko mwabutwasalire twafirisheni nokuchimfya kuli abakongole batupesha impiyesha Kongo shali kwata value mu chalo cha Zambia ifo muna muzambia currency yestaile bomba chirisheni mwabuteko bwesu
abantu balefiro kulatanzika bonse feni ku roads elo bakongole kuno n'abafula tatulekwata nomutende muno mu markets tatulefwaya bena Kongo webo bale kwa tenchende ifo kwa batifu kwa mazambiani kunoko kushadile kwa teku ya makada tatulefwaya bakongole bali ya makada kuno Kasumbalesa so tulefwaya ko change ete twachinjisha obuteko tulefwaya ko bachinjisheko nani ubwika shikuno ku border kwa mazambiani tatwakwatana freedom kuno.
They add that government should build more modernized structures in order to remove those who are selling along the streets.
We've got people also who are trading outside the market. And the fear which we have here is the road which we have. We've got traders trading just by the roadside. And it's not good for them because of the trucks which are moving. We may record fatalities anytime soon. And we don't have to wait until such a thing is is recorded. But the problem which is there is the market which we have is not conducive also for our marketeers to go in. We've got an area where there's no shelter there. You understand? So how do you send people to the market when there's no proper market again inside?
Virginia Chilongo, MUVI TV News, Lusaka.
President Hakainde Hichilema has called for citizens to tolerate one another. Now, President Hichilema says there is need for Zambians to live in peace and harmony. He was speaking Tuesday morning in Chipata, Eastern Province. He says there must be a system in place which ensures farmers fairness and equity across the country.
So, before I go far, I want to say this country is our country. All of us, it's our country. This country, we must work in a way that demonstrates love for each other. Chikondi is very important. We must work in a way that demonstrates fairness and equity across the country. Because God put us in this lovely country together, He knew what He was doing. He's given us all the resources. It's up to us to exploit these resources.
President Hakainde Hichilema says the opposition Patriotic Front will not bounce back to power because it is a dead and buried party. Speaking in Lusangazi district of Eastern Province while drumming up support for UPND Lusangazi Council Chairperson aspiring Fred Banda, President Hichilema said what has remained of the PF is a ghost.
And also assure them of development and eco.
The head of state noted that the people of Zambia decided to remove the PF party from power in the 12th August 2021 general elections because they noticed that their deeds were not pleasant. He has since urged the people of Lusangazi district not to make a mistake on 21st October 2021 by voting for Ghost PF party. And President Hichilema has assured the farmers that supplied maize to the Food Reserve Agency FRA that their money will be paid soon. President Hichilema says payments for the farmers have delayed because this is how it was planned under the PF budget that is effective until December this year. And speaking on Monday when he arrived in Mansa at Mansa Airport before proceeding to Mwansabombwe, President Hakainde Hichilema thanked people of Luapula for voting for him and the UPND despite being blocked from campaigning during the election period. President Hichilema pledged to fulfill all his campaign promises, such as creating equal opportunities, bringing investment, job opportunities, and that the New Dawn government understands steps it needs to take to improve the welfare of people. And speaking in Mwansabombwe at Mbereshi UCZ Church, President Hakainde Hichilema notes fostering unity of purpose in the country is very important for development and that government desires to bring everyone together in order to develop the country, hence encourage church leaders to continue uniting people. And Father Norbert Vesa encouraged congregants to fulfill the purpose that God created them for, such as living in harmony and uniting the families. Now, meanwhile, President Hakainde Hichilema also visited Lufubu Ward in Mwansabombwe district to drum up support for Patson Mwape, aspiring candidate for Lufubu under the UPND.
Following his election victory, on 12 August, President Hakainde Hichilema has visited Luapula province for the first time to appreciate the people of Luapula for giving him more than 30% votes, and also assure them of development and equal opportunities for all. Speaking shortly after arriving at Mansa Airport, President Hakainde Hichilema thanked residents of Luapula and also assured them of the New Dawn's government's commitment to taking development to all parts of the country.
Helped us to win the election under very difficult circumstances, to win it by a landslide. And I know in this province you gave us more than 30% of the national vote. We don't want jobs here, contracts here to be given to people in Lusaka, to be given to people in the Copper Belt, even to be given to foreigners, because we want you to create your own jobs. We promise you jobs, businesses. This is the New Dawn.
President Hakainde Hichilema proceeded to Mwansabombwe district, where he took time to congregate at Mbereshi UCZ Church, as it was 18th October, Day of National Prayer and Fasting.
We are very pleased to be here today to worship with all of you, because the body of Christ is one. And two, it's a desire of this new government, your government, which we voted for into office, to bring all our people together in unity of purpose. Why tubongere chapamo, twale chalo cheskutanshi, and unity is that road we are going to use in developing our country, in solidifying our country, in creating jobs for our people, in creating opportunities for all our people across the country.
And the father, who gave a sermon called on Zambians to continue uniting and being peaceful.
All of us, my dear brothers and sisters, we have been created for a purpose. Are we fulfilling the purpose for which we are created? God created us in love. God created us in peace. And He wants to live us to live in harmony. Living in harmony is accepting each other's differences, accepting each other's whatever limitations we may have.
And President Hichilema proceeded to Lufubu Ward in Mwansawambwe district, where there will be by-elections for a ward councillor on 21st October to drum up support for the UPND candidate.
We need a councillor to give us a councillor in this election this coming week. In fact, this week, on the 21st of October, Ukavokusana, Patson Mwape, a candidate wa UPND. Patson, Mana Wenu, this is your son. Patson is your son.
Helen Chisha reporting for MUVI TV News in Mwansawambwe district of Luapula province.
President Hakainde Hichilema says thieves in Lusaka will no longer steal people's money, as all resources will now be handled and used by local authorities through decentralization. Addressing Solwezi residents in Northwestern Province Monday evening, President Hichilema explains that there has been misuse of public funds due to centralized decision-making, leading to financial loopholes. The president further emphasized the need for local constructors and suppliers to be fully engaged in all projects to be financed under the Constituency Development Fund. And Northwestern Province Minister Robert Lihefu bemoaned lack of development in the province despite it being the center of mineral resource exploitation.
President Hakainde Hichilema has embarked on a tour of provinces to thank Zambians for ushering him to State House. On Monday evening, he was in Northwestern Province en route to Mushindamo district. Addressing UPND supporters upon his arrival in the province, President Hichilema says local people will have more say on how to use public funds from government based on their needs.
The first thing we are going to do is to do something that has never been done since independence. We are going to move money away from the thieves in Lusaka, the corrupt people in Lusaka, and bring it to the people in the provinces, in the constituencies. I'm talking about the corrupt people there, so that each constituency now will receive a lot of money, millions of kwacha every year. So you can decide how to use it yourselves here.
On the issue of mining licenses, the president re-echoed his message on putting Zambians first before anyone in the mining sector.
Licenses must come to you. Mining licenses must come to you. Then you can partner with anybody in the world, and that's how jobs will come. All the contracts for the money that will come must be done by people in the constituency, in the districts, and in this province. We don't want contractors coming from Lusaka or Copper Belt. The contractors must come from here.
Earlier, Provincial Minister Robert Lihefu told the president how the province has lagged behind in development when it is the host of mines.
As you preside the affairs of this land, note that Northwestern Province is one of the provinces which has got 3 big mines. And this province, Mr. President, sits on a big land and forest. But Mr. President, this province has remained the poorest in this country.
Mwiyam Kumbuta, MUVI TV News.
Minister of Energy Peter Chiwe Kapala has announced that he has dissolved the board of the Energy Regulation Board and the Rural Electrification Authority, REA. This was announced by Veronica Muiche, Permanent Secretary. President Hakainde Hichilema announced that he will dissolve boards of state-owned enterprises to pave way for new appointments. On that note, we take our First break. Join us on the other side for more stories. Stay tuned.
Place a bet, search on the web, or get the app. One Expert Bookmaker Company.
The government of the Republic of Zambia, through the Ministry of Health and cooperating partners, will be conducting the Zambia Population-Based HIV Impact Assessment, ZAMFIA, starting April 2021. The survey is targeting those aged 15 years and above in randomly selected households throughout the country. Participants will voluntarily give consent to be able to participate. The survey will enable individuals to test for HIV in the comfort of their own homes at no cost. Individuals found HIV positive will be linked to treatment, care and support. The survey will also enable individuals who already know their HIV positive status to retest and know their CD4 and viral load. Trained health workers will visit selected households wearing personal protective equipment, PPE, and Zamfia branded materials with an official identity card from the Ministry of Health to conduct this survey. A similar survey was last undertaken in 2016, and the results have been used to design interventions to prevent the spread of HIV and control the epidemic. The Zamfia survey will assess the progress made towards epidemic control and ending AIDS by the year 2030, in line with the set national targets. Zamfia, participate and make it happen. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and the National AIDS Council with support from the United States Presidency Emergency Fund for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and the University of Maryland, Baltimore.
I'm not sure. How come your crop is far much better than mine? I mean, we are neighbors. My farm is right next to yours.
My dear, this is an open secret.
Tell me.
I switched to Sidco ever since. My harvest has been good.
Sidco?
Sidco has got the right seed for every farmland.
Sure.
See, my friend, I'm telling you, just contact them and find out which is the right seed for you.
Increase your yield this season by using Seedco Climate Smart Seeds. Call or visit your nearest Seedco depot for more details on our Climate Smart products. Seedco, it starts with the right seed.
I see our future built on energy and ideas that come from being connected to some of Zambia's furthest regions. I see how this solution helps families thrive and rural economies grow. I see that access to clean, affordable energy for all is a reality. Some see blueprints and cables, but I see the sparks of success. My name is Mukabanji Mutanuka, and I am an energy economist.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, says the nomination of Patrick Banda, a Patriotic Front candidate in the 21st October 2021 Council Chairperson election for Lusangazi District remains valid, and the candidate will participate in the election. Commission Corporate Affairs Manager Patricia Luhanga told Zanis in a telephone interview today that ECZ could not remove Mr. Banda from the ballot papers because he had not been taken to court over the allegations that he was in possession of a fake grade 12 school certificate. Mr. Banda was arrested by police in Petauke on October 16th for forgery and uttering of false documents, but was later released on police bond. He has since continued campaigning in Msanzala ahead of the October 2021 Council Chairperson election. Meanwhile, ballot papers for the forthcoming Lusangazi District Council Chairperson election were on Sunday, 17th October 2021, delivered to the area 4 days ahead of the Council Chairperson elections. Lusangazi District Electoral Officer Justin Mbashila confirmed to Zanis the arrival of ballot papers and other election logistics. Mr. Mbashila said all security materials were delivered to Lusangazi and the ballot papers were verified, adding all is set for the forthcoming Lusangazi Council Chairperson election. An epidemiologist has revealed that there is reluctance among members of the general public to access COVID-19 vaccinations, largely due to lack of adequate information about the vaccines. Dr. Dien Mwanza, who is Manager, Expanded Program on Immunization at the University Teaching Hospital, has since called for enhanced sensitization about the vaccines. Speaking during a media engagement in Lusaka, Dr. Mwanza adds, despite the availability of COVID-19 vaccines in the country, some places, especially off the line of rail, have had none.
With unprecedented speed, multiple vaccines against SARS-CoV-2 are available after the COVID-19 pandemic was first identified. As Zambia pushes to achieve global control through these new vaccines, all challenges present themselves, including cold chain storage, the logistics of mass vaccination, and vaccine hesitance. Few days ago, the Republican president revealed that despite the country placing the vaccine program on the list of mitigation measures, the country has only managed to vaccinate about 3% of its eligible population since 14th of April 2021, when the program started. And Dr. Dien Mwanza, epidemiologist and manager expanded program on immunization at University Teaching Hospital UTH, says there's need to sensitize the people about the COVID-19 vaccinations, as many people don't have the information about the vaccine.
Appears to be an obstacle in the COVID-19 vaccination program. As I've demonstrated, many people do not have the information. Information has not reached people. So it's on the demand side, it's an obstacle. Social mobilization, quite very different from advocacy and communication. With social mobilization, we simply tend to define it as an interaction that achieves two things. One, there has to be a question and answer session. Two, at the end of the day, the person being given the information has to have an inclination towards the decision they would have made. Otherwise, if you don't achieve those two, you're basically communicating. You know, the way this year, early this year, we asked people. This was in 3 provinces, Luapula, Northern, and Mchinga. Where do you get information on immunization? This is what people said, predominantly. Well, health workers, community health workers, and the health workers in the health facilities. Why? With so much TV coverage, should only 1% get information from TV?
He further adds that despite the COVID-19 vaccines being available in the country, some districts have not seen the vaccines.
So there are places, for instance, we are yet in some districts. Every district has received some doses of COVID-19 vaccines, but there are too many places, especially off the line of rail, that have not seen a single dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. So the vaccines are not rampantly available, but they are quite available in the country. And as I've demonstrated earlier on, we hope in the next 4 weeks to have as many vaccines, north of 2.5 million doses. And I think the government is working well towards that. Money, health workers have to move to go and vaccinate people, deliver the vaccines, talk to people. The media also has to move. The media has to spend that airtime on TV and radio and so on and so forth. So money becomes an impediment as well. COVID-19 has come as an additional assignment to everyone, including health workers. In other words, it calls for additional people. So people to do extra work that COVID-19 vaccination has brought is another resource that ought to be looked at.
And speaking at the same event, AVOC fellow community breast TB and HIV/AIDS organization representative Esnat Skazindu has this to say.
We should make sure that we also fight the way our forefathers fought for these vaccines. We should make sure that we, as journalists, we write the accurate information, because we know there are so many misconceptions about vaccines. That's the reason why we should come up with accurate information on the vaccines, so that people can get vaccines. Of course, the doctor talked about the demand. Some of the demand is information. Of course, there's no information about COVID vaccines in the community. And a lot of people get vaccinated because they have heard from their friends that are being vaccinated. So one day I asked a certain man who went to the facility to get vaccinated. I asked him, I said, you've been vaccinated. So what vaccine did you get? He was like, I don't know what vaccine I got, but because I saw it from my neighbor going to the facility to access vaccines, that's the reason why I followed to go and get the vaccine. So it goes to show that there's no much information.
However, the most effective message for reducing vaccine hesitance is explaining the personal benefits of vaccination, including prevention of serious illness and long-term health problems. Margaret Chota, MUVI TV News in Lusaka.
The Zambian Federation of Employers, ZFE, Executive Director Harrington Chibanda, is concerned with recent happenings on the labor market of stoppages in some companies. Mr. Chibanda describes the actions as illegal and unacceptable for employees to decide to withdraw labor on account of poor conditions of employment. He adds, this abrogates existing collective agreements which have already spelled out set wages and other conditions of employment.
Zambia Federation of Employers Executive Director Harrington Chibanda today morning, 19th October, speaking on the recent industrial unrest, has urged on workers to desist from engaging in unlawful work stoppages as actions to counter production, which may lead to industrial disharmony in the country.
I agree. If you talk of, we've seen somewhere where among the issues of concern have been issues of some employees not being given proper PPEs, okay? PPEs. Yes, to such employers who want to subject employees to that kind of environment, where they know it is a requirement, a legal requirement that employees should have PPEs, and then they don't give them. Those kind of employers, I think, would urge them to up their game and ensure that they do the best for their employees. Because that is something we really do not support in the Zambia Federation of Employers.
He further urged the same category of employers to find unions where to belong within their sectors and indicate negative impact on COVID-19 pandemic on the industry, and to always follow the legal processes in airing grievances, especially when it concerns demands on wages increments.
What we should understand is that the Ministry of Labour, in the previous government, is one of the means which was poorly funded, and it's a means that is dealing with issues of labor, issues of ensuring that they enforce the labor laws to have workers' rights protected, and yet that's a ministry which is underfunded. So even in terms of staffing levels, they don't have adequate staff who can actually do proper labor inspection and unearth the issues which employers are not complying with, so that they actually demand and ensure that they comply with the provisions of the labor laws in terms of respecting the workers' rights.
Caroline Mwanza, MUVI TV News in Lusaka.
The United Party for National Development UPND Secretary General Batuke Imenda has expressed shock that his party is accused of perpetuating violence towards a party that he describes as a dead horse. Speaking to journalists in Kaumbwe constituency shortly after chairing a strategic planning meeting with zone leaders in charge of campaigns in the area, Mr. Imenda says it has come to his attention that one of the political parties participating in the Kaumbwe constituency by-elections was insinuating that his party had attacked them. The UPND Secretary General expresses concern that a party that had no structures on the ground could accuse his party of being violent, as he compared the act to throwing stones at a dead horse. Mr. Imenda further advises the leader of Socialist Party to report to the police if anyone had attacked them.
Where someone can attend to an issue which Mr. Freddie Membe is talking about. Encourage the Socialist Party to report whoever created violence. We have said over and over again that anyone who creates a crime is supposed to be reported to the police. If he has evidence that there is anyone who is perpetuating violence here in this direction, Kaumbwe, he is at liberty. He is at liberty to report that to the police. That is what Mr. Member should do. He should not try to gain public sympathy. Who perpetrates violence? The police is there to do their work. Let him go and report. Let him not rush to the social media. The social media can pick whatever it says, but the law enforcement officers are the police. Instead of going to police, he should not rush to the social media. Let the police do their work. They will find whoever did it. As far as they are concerned, we have not, from our camps as UPND, received the information of violence.
Watching the news on MUVI TV, we take our second break. We're back with more stories on the other side. Stay tuned.
Presenting Mr. Money! Send cash and get cash right now from overseas. With international money transfer, it's just a breeze. Receive cash from across Africa at cool rates. And receive cash from other networks across space. You can cross borders at any time with your local Airtel line. So many deals with Airtel Money. It's your time. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Send and receive money from most countries in Africa with international money transfer. With our global money partners, transact conveniently across borders.
We're giving you the chance to boost your multi-bet winnings. To activate your boost, create your bet slip, check your boost, and place your bet. It's that simple. The more selections you add, the bigger your boost. Visit Betway online now. Betway, for the love of the game.
What can you do with 5 kwacha? Not a lot. A 5 kwacha auto boost can get you 1,900 kwacha extra IO recharge with care cover. Limited Banda auto boosted. Limited received a total payout of 5,335 kwacha when he needed it most. Here is Limited's story.
My name is Limited Banda. I fall down my neck. I go to the hospital and there I was admitted. So I make a claim by dialing *296#. And then they give me 5,335 kwacha. Payout inanitandiza kwambiri pamozi na banza langu. Sitenzoyembekezela kuti tingalande ndrama yakulu. So panthawi imodzi ayo is the best. Ayo brings me joy.
Dial *296# to auto boost and quickly grow your IO recharge with care cover each time you recharge. IO together with MTN. IO because you care.
The Zambian DNA has saluted President Hakainde Hichilema's New Dawn administration for upholding the declaration of Zambia as a Christian nation by observing the Day of National Prayer, Repentance and Reconciliation. Speaking to MUVI TV News in a phone interview in Lusaka, Zambian DNA spokesperson Spooky Mulemwa says 18th October was declared in an effort to inculcate the spirit of love, peace, unity and harmonious fellowship among Zambians. He has also commended the Zambians for making time off their busy schedules to take part in this critical national event.
October was declared as a day of national prayer, repentance and reconciliation by the 6th President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, in 2015 in an effort to inculcate the spirit of love, peace, unity, and harmonious fellowship among Zambians. We also commend Zambians for making time out of their busy schedules to take part in this critical national event. We hope that Zambians will continue on this trajectory of prayer, repentance, and reconciliation with God, and more importantly, each other. However, it's unfortunate that the media reports of pockets of political violence
perpetrated by suspected UPN cadres on this day when Zambians are supposed to reconcile with God and each other. In view of the foregoing, we are calling upon the Police High Command to take charge and bring the culprits to book. As the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, has made it clear that he does not want to see any political violence in Zambia. DNA salutes President Hakainde Hichilema's New Dawn administration for upholding the declaration of Zambia as a Christian nation by observing the Day of National Prayer, Repentance, and Reconciliation.
The Zambia Empowerment Hub for Entrepreneurship and Skills Training has asked investigative wings to expedite the process of investigations on cases that are before them. Organization Executive Director Clarence Muziamba, during a press briefing held in Lusaka, notes that justice delayed is justice denied, claiming that a lot of people are losing confidence in the investigative wings. Mr. Muziamba has therefore demanded that the Anti-Corruption Commission (ACC) should give a detailed account of a Lusaka civic leader who allegedly purchased a bank. He also called upon the police to tabulate and give detailed report on the 65 million kwacha and 57,000 United States dollars found at Faith Musonda's house in New Kasama residential area. You're watching the news on MUVI television. We take our final break. We are back with the rest of the stories on the other side. Stay tuned.
Presenting Mr. Money! Why queue to pay school fees when you can sort it out with ease? Pay bills like power and water from the comfort of your sofa or the beach. There's no need to carry your load of cash loaded on your phone. There's security to flash. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Send and receive bulk payments like salaries. You can also buy goods and services. Just click and pay. Save time, quick, the easy way. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Send money, buy talk time and data. It's simple, it's easy, and life gets better. Do it all with Airtel Money. Make payments, pay bills, and a whole lot more with a touch of your finger. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
If I go down, I won't care. 'Cause I know that I'm a superstar and I am strong. I'll find my way back again. Like Apple Max.
Through all my troubles and pressures, through all the rules and the measures, through all the battles and dangers, I made it this far. Now I'm like a treasure. I'm the realest one to ever do this. The one that sent me gold, but the rudest. I'm raising my tone like I'm foolish, and I am a star. Yo, I shine like a movie. I know I'm leading the race. For 20 years on the chase. I know that I'm the boss. Who got the juice and the sauce? I got the power and the energy. I don't need no other strategy. I ain't spy, I'm the prodigy. 'Cause Upper Max is my remedy.
And so I fly up high just like an eagle in the sky. And if I fall down, we'll rise back up again. 'Cause I take it to the max. I turn it up, I turn it up, I turn it up like fire. I'm burning the air. I take it to the max. I turn it up, I turn it up, Cause I take it to the max. I turn it up, like fire. I'm burning the air. I take it to the max. I turn it up, I turn it up, Cause I'm a superstar.
Apple Max, now in new 500 mils. Place a bet, search on the web, or get the app. One Expert Bookmaker Company.
I see our future built on energy and ideas that come from being connected to some of Zambia's furthest regions. I see how this solution helps families thrive and rural economies grow. I see that access to clean, affordable energy for all is a reality. Some see blueprints and cables, but I see the sparks of success. My name is Mukabanji Mutanuka, and I am an energy economist.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select MUVI TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the MUVI TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
Some Copperbelt University first-year students have passionately appealed to the Higher Scholarships Loans Board to consider granting them loans. The students who have been admitted to study at the institution for the 2021 November intake say the loans are their only way to pursue tertiary education. They contend that their parents are unable to meet the requirements. The students said this when they stormed MUVI TV studios in Lusaka. And our former Zambia national soccer team and current Uganda coach Milton Micho Sredojevic has been found guilty of 2 charges of sexual assault. He has been sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, which are suspended for 5 years. Sredojevic was accused of sexually assaulting a 39-year-old woman during the 2020 COSAFA Cup tournament. It was held by his colleagues. Upon coffee, the victim allegedly asked me if he wanted sugar with his, but the Serbian man said no before allegedly saying he wanted another type of sugar, which pointed at the at the woman's private parts. That item brings us to the end of this bulletin. To join 21:15 hours, the main news. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Kalaba out of Democratic by his vice president. Back again, the suspends the suspender. Interim DPR reports violent party cadres to police. Bali recounts darker days in Wapula and East Highlands. UPND boss describes PF a dead horse unworthy of attention. Slapped with threats for sexual assault. Our website is www.movitv.com. Sure to look us up. You can follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as our YouTube. The handle is Ask Movie TV. Follow us and we'll follow you back. Send us an email for front office@movitv.com is the email